our deepest, darkest, irrational fears, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Hello.
Creepy music.
I know, it's so creepy. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Millennial Hollywood. I am your host, Dakota T. Jones, and today I am joined by the one and the only...
I feel like you actually brought me here to kill me, and that's what's happening. But hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel for now, and you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel.
All right. Oh man, this music's really peaking. Oh. Hey, I like this. We transitioned.
This is fun now.
You guys can find me everywhere at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. And we're talking irrational fears today. This is an episode that I wanted to do for a long time. And it was actually inspired by my friend Taylor Gates, who actually is joining us on Skype right now. What's up, Taylor?
One sec.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. I miss you guys though.
I know.
We miss you too.
I know. I wish you could be here for the episode, but I had to get you on because you have some like amazing irrational fears, and you've like somehow managed to like get one of my biggest irrational fears out, which we'll talk about later in the episode.
It's ridiculous, you guys. You want to stay tuned for this?
But I do want to ask you, if you don't mind explaining some of your lovely ones. Go ahead.
All right, so I have like three main ones that are like very odd, I feel like. So my first one is like adult cartoons. Like they just like creep me out for some reason. I don't know if it's like some like psychological, like I feel like cartoons are for kids and like the dialogue of it is like so mature that it just like doesn't sit right with me, but I don't know, that's one that like all my friends make fun of me because they like love like Family Guy and Rick and Morty, and I'm just like, turn it off. You got to turn it off.
I would say that you would probably be like super concerned and like would never want to watch Sausage Party.
No, I don't. I like that commercial freaked me out even.
Oh
When
my
you
gosh.
say this freaks you out or it scares you, what do you mean? Like, do you have nightmares about it? Like, do you think about it excessively? Tell me.
It's more of just like being creeped out by it. Like if it's on the TV in the living room, I just like get like uncomfortable with it. I don't really have nightmares or anything. Like I'm not like terrified that it's going to hurt me, I guess.
That's how I feel when I hang out with Dakota.
Oh, hey.
So logical we're getting. This is like therapy on this Friday.
Right? I know. Well, I do want to say one of my friends has something kind of similar to yours. It's like claymation. So like anything like claymation, she feels like she wants to reach through the screen, take it, and bite its head off, she says. Like it's like she gets angry. It's very odd.
Well, I get that,
What?
like Wallace and Gromit, like the Quick and
Yes.
Run, that's also kind of a weird thing. I don't really like that either.
I know, I was just expecting one of their eyeballs to like fall off or something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it just doesn't look right. Like I don't know, it's a weird thing.
I feel like when you come back to California, we need to have you like in the studio and we need to do like a live reaction video of us watching Sausage Party or something because
Oh, gosh.
Down if you're like there like for comfort.
I'll be there for comfort. Okay, let's explain one of your next irrational fears.
Okay, I've always been super like again, it's more of like just a discomfort thing, I guess, rather than like being actually like terrified of it. But like any cold meat at all, like even if it's lunch meat, even if it's not raw, it just grosses me out so much.
So like whenever whenever you get like a pack of deli meat or something and you have to like touch it with your fingers, like is that a trigger?
Sit right away for like a minute. Like I scrub my hands. and
Yeah, I
gag
feel
and
you on
touch
that.
What do
it. So
you
nasty.
what do you think's gonna happen? Like just like all the germs from the, like I don't know.
Like a texture thing, like the fact that it's like a little bit slimy
Ugh.
is
Oh.
just so terrible.
Raw meat is the worst. I always feel like I'm going to get salmonella.
Yeah.
I
Well,
won't make it. I literally won't make myself steak or like ground beef or anything because I will not touch it.
you're just like I can't do it. And then afterwards, once it is cooked, you're like I can't do this. I know where this came from.
Once it's cooked, it's fine. It's a temperature and a texture thing, I think.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
know.
like it's super weird, but that's always been a thing that my family has just like relentlessly made fun of me for.
I just love it though
Like, are you
because
scared of it? Are you scared of this turkey? I'm like a little.
you're like, yeah, actually a little bit. I'm more scared of it now dead than alive.
Yeah, honestly.
But I love asking her about this because she gets so like you can tell she takes it so seriously. Like it's not just like oh like yeah I don't like this. She's like it's just
She
like
gets-
the temperature and like.
She
No,
cringes.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then the last one that you have is my personal favorite. And when you told me this, I literally died. So the stage is yours. Go ahead.
Well, honestly, I want to make this into like a short film or something. Like me and Dakota have been talking about like making this like a short film that's
Yeah.
gonna win so many awards. But okay, so I'm afraid that I'm gonna be like at home by myself, like with no one else around, and I'm gonna sneeze, and then this voice is just gonna say, "Bless you," all sinister, and they're gonna like slit my throat or like shoot me, and I'm gonna die because I sneezed.
Literally, I love that one. Literally, we were in El Pollo Loco together, and like we were just like, this is one of the first times we hung out alone, and I don't know, we just got to some deep stuff, okay? And like we were talking, and she's like, yeah, I'm just afraid I'm gonna be sitting there alone, and she's like, sometimes I'll literally hold my sneeze because I'm afraid that whenever I sneeze, I'm just gonna hear, bless you.
They're gonna be like the most polite murderer like,
Yeah.
of all time.
Bless you.
Where
Bless
do you
you.
think that stemmed from? Do you think you sneezed at one point and someone that could potentially be a murderer said bless you, and therefore it's stuck in your brain for future occurrences to be alone at a place where he actually could have killed you?
I don't know. I guess doesn't everyone just have those feelings where you're like sitting on like a chair and it's kind of like in the open? Like I have a chair like that in my living room.
Do you have a chair in the center of your living room?
It's not the center, but like
Freak.
it's like there's not a wall behind it. And like I don't know, there's always those times where you're like afraid that kind of something's behind you, I think.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
anyone else ever like have that?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes I'll be like sitting alone in my house, and I feel like if I sing, someone's just gonna join in, and I'm gonna be like, what the hell? Like,
and everyone I think is scared of like being like taking a shower when you're home alone. Like I don't know. That's a thing that I know.
I'm scared of that, absolutely. I'm just always scared because that's when you're at your most vulnerable, and someone's just gonna come in. Because sometimes I leave the door open. I live alone.
What?
Sometimes leave the door open because I don't want it to get too steamy, and then I make it even easier for them.
this is like a total like scene from Scream Queens where Jamie Lee Curtis is like,
psycho.
yeah, no, but like I totally get what you mean. But every time I even go to the bathroom, like let's say I just have to go to the bathroom, I'm not showering, I literally will take my hand, pull back the curtain, and check behind there for murderers.
Me too!
Every time.
Why do we? I didn't even put that as an irrational fear, but I do that because I think that's normal. Apparently,
Yeah.
I think that's rational.
Yeah. Well, and if you're in your basement and you like have to, you like stairs if it's late at night, you know, because you think someone's there.
Definitely.
Like, that's
True.
I do too.
I know. Well, I'm so happy that you joined us. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us your
Thank you
fears.
for listening to my craziness.
Of course. And where can everybody find you on social media?
You guys can find me on Twitter at alphaba_and on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_.
Awesome. Well, we miss you. We can't wait for you to come back to California.
Yes.
Love
Bye,
you.
girl.
Bye. Oh my gosh, I am obsessed. I love like her irrational fears so much.
Cold meats and adult cartoons, and the sneezing one I get more. When you
Yeah.
wrote on our notes like sneezing, because I saw it,
Yeah.
and I was like, she's scared of sneezing.
I mean,
And then when she explained it,
you're
it
like,
made more
okay,
sense.
I get it.
I
Definitely.
get it.
Well, we're going to get into some of our irrational fears, and then later on we have some videos sent in by some of the viewers and some of my friends, so that's going to be fun because I want to kind of get their take on what they're scared of so we can react and be like, okay, we're gonna give you guys some solid advice on how to get over your irrational fears. We're nice like that. My biggest irrational fear. We talked about this yesterday because I kind of prepped her because some people think it's really weird and I have to kind of explain it beforehand.
He explains it and it still makes no sense, by the way.
Okay, well, it does, but I am afraid of balloons. I can't handle them. Like, if they're inside, like, let's say we have balloons inside, like, if it's the plastic ones, you know, like the ones that they fill up, they're like shiny plastic or whatever, like, that's okay. And if it's inside, it's fine. If it's one of those latex balloons or whatever where you like it blows up and it's like you touch it and it's a little white and dusty or whatever, like I can't do those because I mean if they're inside it means if you let go it'll hit the ceiling, it's not going to go anywhere. But if you're outside and you have a balloon and you let it go, it floats away into nothingness. Like it just you just watch it slowly and it's so out of control and there's no way you can ever get it back. It's gone forever. So like I imagine myself as a balloon. Like,
you know, I know what you were thinking for a second. Oh, he's scared of pollution. Nope.
No.
Nope. You're scared of being a balloon.
Well, I'm scared of being a balloon. Like, I can imagine being the balloon, like, floating away and, like, being way up high. Like, oh, my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, where's my family? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm so scared. Like, the next thing you know, you're going to pop, and then that's it.
Dakota, can I just say I totally get that.
You get it?
For those listening, this is your producer in the booth, Jeff Graham. I want to ask, are you okay holding on to a kite?
No.
I can't do that because I do the same thing where you think of it being so far away. I get knock-kneed. Like, my knees get weak.
Oh, my gosh.
I also can't watch balloons float away.
Oh, my gosh. I am so happy. You're the first person I've ever talked to.
You're welcome.
Oh, my gosh. Because kites are very similar because I'm thinking the wind is taking it and you feel it like as it is unraveling. And it's, like one time as a kid, I accidentally let go of a kite. And it blew away, and like someone grabbed it because it got stuck in a tree. But I had so much anxiety, and like the same thing with balloons. I can't watch it float away. I was at Disneyland the other day, and they have those big ones, and they have like people were holding onto the balloons, taking photos, and I was like, oh my gosh, like don't let go of those. And like I literally was freaking out because this kid kept letting it go and catching it the last second. And I was like having a panic attack. I had to walk away. I had to go from where the castle is all the way to Frontierland just to get away from it. But then there's balloons everywhere there.
So Jeff, I guess you could chime in as well. I guess what I'm trying to say is you're never going to be a balloon. Like neither of you are ever going to wake up tomorrow. It's not going to be like Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Balloons are not alive. Balloons cannot feel. Balloons are literally plastic and a string.
I do imagine if I was a balloon.
Okay, but you're not. So that's what I'm just trying to figure out.
Renee. Just hold up.
That's right.
My other question is, Dakota, do you think you could ever do a hot air balloon?
Ooh. You know what? I've had times where people have offered like to take me into a hot air balloon because like where I'm from, there's like one that you can get in, and I've always turned them down because there's a string on it. Like holding it down, like the ones that are, for tourists to get in because they have to have like the extra, like protection just in case. So it's literally like a balloon on a string. The only difference is that there's a little basket and it's on a big scale. So no, to answer your question, I don't think I could do that.
Have you heard about the guy that tied balloons to a lawn chair?
Oh my gosh, that's where a lot of this irrational fear came from.
Yes.
Have you seen that video?
No.
He had a lawn chair and he had these very, very big, huge balloons, the big red ones, and he literally was floating up in the air and like to get down he started shooting the balloons like one by one to like make him like did he live?
No, he died.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
So
that I get.
that's-
That if your fear is like I'm scared of getting kidnapped and then being on a lawn chair and having them like let me float off in a bunch of balloons, totally. When you say I'm scared of being a balloon and floating away, that's where I have difficulty empathizing, I guess.
This is called irrational fears, but yeah.
But that's just the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. When you were explaining it to me originally, I was just like, wait, what?
Like,
wait, what?
I know. And we have a photo. My best friend Shayla from back home, she constantly decides to torture me by sending me
Don't say pictures of balloons.
well, sometimes she will, but the one that I have is like a text message. Do we have that photo?
I'm showing it right now, guys.
Okay.
So, yep.
Oh.
So there's this text message of basically she does a balloon emoji and then does space, 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 and then has like a little boy like the emoji of someone walking. So like he let his balloon go. So like the text is just like a balloon way up here and a person way down here. And it just gives me anxiety. I'm like, well, stop. Like,
does it trigger you?
It triggers me because she'll do it where like they're close together, and then the next text, a few minutes later, they'll be further apart and further apart and further apart, and then next thing you know, like in the photo, the balloon is like way out of reach. Like there's no getting it back.
I'm actually speechless. I love this fear.
Okay, well, I want to get to one of yours so I don't feel as crazy. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, this fear of mine stemmed from when I believe I did like a project on them way back in the day in like 5th grade. You know how like dolphins are super cute, bottlenose dolphins, adorable. I want to swim with dolphins.
No.
I want you, Jeff, will you please pull up a picture of a river dolphin?
I've got it.
Let me tell you guys something. River dolphins are the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. First of all, what is its face? What is its body? Why does it have like multiple necks? It's scary. It's big. If you were swimming casually in a river thinking there's no way a scary dinosaur dolphin could come up to me, think again, because they're not extinct yet. They're actually endangered. But they freak me out. I can't look at pictures of them, especially at night. It freaks me out a lot. I don't like them. But it makes sense. They're scary.
River dolphins.
It's only irrational because I don't live in Asia and there's no way I'm ever going to run into a river dolphin, but they still terrify me.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, those things, I can see why it'd make you uncomfortable. Yesterday we were at lunch talking about what we were gonna do today, and I kept pulling them up, and she was like, "Okay, like here is your here's my phone. Just search it. Like afterwards, close the window, delete the search history. Like I can't have it." And so I just like held it up in front of her face, and she just was like super uncomfortable.
I hate them. Guys, you don't understand. Like when I'm scared of something, like truly scared of it, I for some reason can't look at pictures of it. I can't. I wish I was like joking and it was just like, haha, I'm so cute. Like I'm so scared. I hate it. It makes me so anxious, so scared. I think they're terrifying. I don't like their face or anything about them. I haven't looked up how big they are because I don't want to know.
Well, I'm gonna have to look up how big they are just for you. But one of my irrational fears is I have a lot of dreams about this. I have a dreams that oh gosh, this music. I have a dream that I'm gonna be swimming. You know, swimming in like an ocean or swimming in a river or swimming in...
Where the river dolphins are.
Yes. And I'm just there, or sometimes I have dreams that I'm stuck in like a small world after all, or like Splash Mountain where I'm like walking through the little water part. Like I'm not in the boat, I'm in the water part. So it's like, it varies if I'm in a ride in the water or in a river. But I have dreams that I'm just minding my business, trying to wade through the water in the dark.
Well, if you're in It's a Small World after all, you're not minding your own business. You're disrupting the ride.
That's true. But like all of a sudden, one of the animatronic alligators will like pop up out of the water, like right in front of me, and like it's either animatronic or real, and they will just the door just like act like it was gonna open.
Stop
That
it.
scared me so bad. That seriously scared
This
me.
music
Anyway,
is also not
I
helping.
know. Okay, so then all of a sudden they like eat me, or they like will grab me, and then I'm like inside their mouth, like opening, like no, let me out, let me out. That's my irrational fear. Like I have so much anxiety. And last night I had a dream that I was in a river and I was like on this little raft that would be in a pool, and I was pushed to the side and I was waiting for my raft to kind of go up onto the shore, and I was like paddling like this, and all of a sudden I realized that I was just surrounded by alligators. And so then I couldn't like paddle, so I just had to sit there quietly as they were like looking at me, and I just like floated up on the shore and like ran. But like I have so many times when I have bad dreams about alligators eating me.
Do you think your alligator fear stemmed from an experience with an alligator?
When I was really little, I would always go to Florida to visit my great grandma, and she lived in a neighborhood where alligators would walk around.
Florida.
Yes. So like they had like a swamp in the neighborhood, and sometimes she'd come out her back door and they'd just be sunning on the back porch or something like that. So
What?
yeah, like I would just have to constantly like be watching everywhere I go. They wouldn't let me go out alone, you know, like we'd be out picking grapefruits off the tree, and all of a sudden there would just be one like waiting to pounce.
Stop
Like,
it.
yeah. Like it was terrifying.
Are you kidding me?
Not even kidding.
How many times have you seen an alligator and how close were you?
Pretty close, because sometimes we would have to walk by like their little pond or whatever, and so they'd be sunning, and so sometimes we'd be like, oh crap, and like we'd have to like kind of hop out of the way.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, like, and they're in the water watching you. Like, have you seen videos of gazelles like sipping water from the side of the river, and all of a sudden they are just there and they just like hop out and grab and then just like go back in? Like they're watching you. So don't ever go to the edge of a pond or swamp in Florida, because they will get you. They will eat you.
I won't. I'm gonna start having nightmares now.
Speaking of nightmares, I do have dreams sometimes that I can't breathe.
Oh, I hate that.
Do you get those?
Yeah.
Like, and I honestly don't know if it's just a dream or if like I'm like can't, like I forget to breathe in my dream, because I'll be like and like be like I can't breathe, and like and then like a minute or two will pass and I'll be like like okay, I'm okay. I don't know
scary.
if that's like actually something that happens and I forget to breathe in my sleep, or like if it's just a dream. But what about you?
No, I've had dreams where like I'm like underwater and can't breathe or things like that, and I feel like I'm gonna die, but then I don't die. You know, the torture.
Just the regular stuff.
Torture of it all.
Okay.
But speaking of water, okay, guys, a lot of my fears, if not like all of them, revolve around water. So this is probably the most irrational of them all, because it's just like, why? I can't look at pictures of the ocean at night. I don't mean pictures of the ocean like when it's nighttime. I mean like if it's nighttime here, I won't look up pictures of the ocean. I won't look. I can't really watch movies where they go underwater. I get goosebumps. I hate it. I don't know why. It's not like the beach. Like I can look at pictures of the beach. It's when it's like open water.
Yeah.
Something just freaks me out about open water. I mean, it makes sense if you've seen open waters 1, 2, and 3. It's terrifying. What do you do? Where do you go? You could get eaten by a shark. You could drown. You can't go anywhere. You're stuck. It's terrifying. I don't like it. I can't at night. It gets worse.
I know. I have a picture I sent in of like open body of water that's
I'm
just
happy that I
dark.
can't see it.
I got it.
I know. I like Renee would have been like, oh my gosh, Dakota, why did you send all these photos? But like, yeah, I get you. Like, one time I don't know why. I have like an irrational fear of sharks for sure. I love Jaws. I love the movie Jaws and everything. But because of that, I'm terrified to be in water, period. But one time I was at night, my friend was like, we're going to go swimming at night by the pier in Santa Monica. Well, at nighttime, there's a lot of fishermen. And when they fish, they attract sharks up to the shore as well. And not only that, but at nighttime, sharks like to kind of play close to the shore. I don't know if it's like warmer at the edge or what. Anyway, so I'm in the water with my friend, and like she's far away from me to where like if we're like floating, like one of her limbs can't like touch me or anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt like this big rubbery like slap on my leg, like kind of pushed me out of the way. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, like what are you doing? Like what did you do that to me? And she's like, I'm way the heck over here. Like what are you talking about? And I'm like, you just touched me. And she's like, no. And then
Oh my God.
And I was
I
like,
hate sharks. Oh, look at them. I hate when there's photos and they're so far.
oh, I love Jaws though. But anyway, so it was just like, just sitting there, right? I was like, what is happening? So then I feel something else, and my friend sees something go in the water, and she's like, yo, get out of the water. And then there's this family on the shore that starts screaming, shark, shark.
Oh my. Jeff.
He keeps showing us photos of sharks.
Jeff, that's.
So yeah, this family was like, shark, shark, get out of the water, shark. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was like far enough away where I had to like do a hop, skip, and a jump to get out of the water. Like I wasn't like right next to the sand. So I'm like running, like trying to go through these waters like quick, knowing that there's a shark that this family is seeing circling around us.
That's terrifying.
And I just like got out somehow. I was like laughing uncontrollably, like because I was just so scared. And then we look back into the water, and there, circling, is a shark. I love how the music was building. I like that.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah.
I also can't look at pictures of great white sharks, which is what Jeff was showing, and that's why I was cringing slightly. That's my nightmare. I mean, obviously, my nightmare would also be getting eaten or fully attacked, but that's terrifying because you're in the ocean at night and there's sharks. Great white sharks just freak me out because I feel like when you look into their eyes, there's no soul.
They're just like, I was telling Renee, like, she hates oceans at night, like, awful. Like, she hates them. I was thinking, how awful would it be if, like, all of a sudden, like, she was just dropped into the ocean, like, not even, like, by the shore, just, like, way out in the boonies, right? So she gets dropped, and she sinks a little bit, like, really deep, deep water.
This was a daydream
This
you
was
were
something
having?
that I was thinking about with you. So you were just really deep, but you somehow had air on, like, because you could breathe.
Oh,
and you're like,
I hate you.
and you're like pitch black, like it's not like you can see anything in the ocean, but you're like, oh, because I'm Renee and I thought this through, I have a little spotlight on my helmet or whatever.
Did I think it through though if I'm in the middle of the ocean?
So she turns on her spotlight, right, and like she can kind of see just directly in front of her, and she's just like. She turns, boom, shark right in front of her.
That I wouldn't. I'd give up. I'd give up. You know how they say people fight back with sharks? Like, punch them in the face. I don't have that natural
You just
instinct.
go limp noodle?
I'd go limp. I'd pass out. I'd be so scared. I'd faint, and then I'd be like, well, it's been nice. It's been real. I wouldn't even try. I'd be like, take me. You already win. I already would be scarred for life in that experience. I'm done.
Not only that, but can we talk about the fact that, like, when you're underwater, how does one punch underwater? It'd be like,
right?
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess it's like surfers when they're not completely underwater. Because also great white sharks jump out of the water, because thanks for that. Could have just been dolphins and killer whales, but no, let's make great white sharks freaking jump out of the water. Jump out of the water. It's terrifying.
We need to stay away from oceans. I mean, I will be on the sand. I will have a blast on the sand. But
I love pools. Send me to a good pool.
a pool, nice cement concrete pool that we know there's nothing in.
Yep.
But that's a scary thing too, is in Florida, they actually have a lot of problems with alligators being in people's pools.
I've heard that. I hate that.
So like they'll be swimming around or whatever, and all of a sudden like they just see the two eyes out of the water at the end of the pool, and they're like, oh no 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 no. Like I don't want to swim and be scared of swimming in my own pool. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you have to get the enclosed pools. Like a lot of places in Florida have like that enclosure around it.
Oh yeah.
Because of alligators.
Yeah. That just terrifies me. I think that with alligators in general, like I just don't know about them. I feel like they should just go live on a different planet, to be honest. They give me a lot of anxiety.
That's how I feel about great white sharks.
Maybe we'll just send them away.
Both.
Send them away.
Agreed.
Another irrational fear. This one I've actually gotten a lot better at. Like it's fine, but as a child, I had a awful fear of clowns. Like
I understand that.
which is very common, but I actually was in a film one time and I had to have this clown. I was like in my bedroom or whatever, and like this clown just showed up in my room. And so he was there and he was like coming after me, and he had like a baseball bat or something. And he was
This
like,
is a dream?
No, this was a film I was in.
Okay.
So I was here sitting on the bed or something, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And like he was just like flashing towards me. Like it was almost like he was.
So you were acting in the movie.
Yeah. Real tears, guys. Like I didn't have to act. I was terrified. And he was coming at me, but it wasn't like he was moving towards me. It was like glitching to where he'd be like here, and then he'd be like a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. And anyway, I've always been so scared of clowns. The only reason I've been able to kind of get over it a little bit is because I was in this play one time, like a circus play, like pretending that we were in a circus in this show.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of clowns around us, you know, for the play. And so they had like this little doll clown that they would hide in my dressing room or like hide next to my mirror or something like that. So I'd be like minding my business and it'd be like, Dakota, like find the clown. So I'd be like doing my own thing. Yeah, and I'd like turn and there'd be like a little clown there. So I've gotten over it a little bit, but I have not been able to watch
It.
Old one
We're going to
or
go
new.
see it, and we're going to document our experience.
I would be terrified. We have to watch it during the day though.
Nope, at night.
No.
I'll look at one picture of the ocean if you go see it with me at night.
Like in a theater?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would scream out loud in the theater.
I screamed too. Actually, speaking of screaming, Jeff and I both screamed very loudly when we saw it.
Very, very loudly.
There was one part where I screamed throughout the whole time that like someone was running at someone else. I just screamed like, ah!
It's a good thing there were no children, because it was a very R-rated dialogue between Renee and I. Many an F word was dropped.
Oh my gosh.
Many an F word was dropped during that.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, but when you were doing this, like when you were watching this movie, was everybody in the theater like screaming, or were there people like, shut up?
I think Jeff and I were the loudest.
There were people
and,
screaming. Were there people screaming horrific torrential yells of panic and fear?
Maybe
there
not.
was a couple. Renee
Yeah,
and
yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, like we left the theater, we went with like Daryl and a few people, and Daryl was like, I only want to see scary movies with you and Jeff because apparently we're very loud and fun to laugh at.
It's almost like getting 2 shows for the price of 1.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
That's great. That's great. Well, one of the irrational fears you told me the other day that I was cracking up about.
You think this is funny?
Like, I get it because I'm laughing because I
You're
would have
scared
done
of balloons.
I mean, I get it. I was just laughing at you because of the way you explained it, but go for it.
Okay, I have a fear of peepholes. Not actual peepholes. I'm always scared that I'm going to look at my peephole and someone's going to be there.
Peephole as in like in the door, guys.
Yeah, like I'm very scared of looking through them. And the thing is, I'm also a masochist, so I love to look through them. Like I always think someone might be out there, and I'll always look and no one will be there. But then I'll sit there for a second waiting for someone to come around the corner. Because you know how you can just, you're like, it's going to happen any second now. Like I tell myself this. Has it ever happened? No.
I'm gonna like.
Will it happen?
Where do you live? I'm gonna like.
If you ever did that, you don't understand, guys. I'm so paranoid that when I first moved to like my new place, I had like a FedEx guy come, and I thought he was a murderer, and I told him I was gonna call the police.
Oh.
Because he didn't say he was FedEx. He was like, "Oh, is Renee here?" And I was like, "Oh, they found me."
They're like.
I honestly did, because usually FedEx just comes up to your door, and for some reason, because they called me on the little intercom and didn't just have a key to get in or didn't know a way to get in, I was like, well, he's here for me.
That's so scary.
I honestly told him I was going to call the police. This poor man was just trying to do his job, and I'm like...
Did he say anything back like, I'm FedEx? Nothing?
I think I stopped answering after I said I'm going to call the police.
Okay, so he's probably like, okay, well, I guess I get your package.
Did he end up somehow getting in and coming to my door and giving me my package? Absolutely. Did I apologize? Absolutely. Yeah. Was I really embarrassed? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I can just imagine you like looking through a peephole and all of a sudden just like, like
Stop
someone
it.
like someone being on the side of it and then just like eyeball to eyeball, eyeball to eyeball. Not even like face, but like just eyeball to eyeball.
Actually, I had experience like that. Another time I thought I was going to get murdered. Let's just make a list of times Renee thought she was going to get murdered.
Yeah.
So my neighbor, so I have a neighbor that lives like across the hall from me, as everyone does. And I remember hearing like someone knock on my door like this. I was like, oh, that's the murderer coming to get me.
Yeah.
And so I was very quiet because you always have to make them think you're not home. And I went up to the door slowly and I looked at my peephole and it was black. And I was like, they're covering it. I'm going to die. Like, it's my immediate thing. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Turns out my neighbor ordered Chinese food and they mistakenly knocked on my door first and it was pitch black because we forgot to turn on the lights in the hallway for at night. So he wasn't covered.
Okay, so this poor guy just trying to deliver Chinese food was in the dark knocking on people's doors.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
I know. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's probably why I couldn't read my door.
I don't even feel bad for you. I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for me.
Okay, well, maybe a little bit.
And him. I feel bad
no,
for
but
both of
that
us.
is more of like a rational fear, but I guess you sitting at the door just peering out at it.
Pretty
like,
irrational.
It's kind of a little bit, but anyway. Before we move on to a segment where I've had some people send in some videos, I really quickly just want to say one of my bigger ones is feet. oh gosh. Oh, I just can't handle feet. Like,
do they gross you or do they scare you?
they just gross me out. Like if I'm just sitting in someone, like, if, like when you're hanging out at someone's house, you don't have shoes on, you have socks on, or you don't, like, have some people, don't have socks, and like you'll be sitting down and their foot will just kind of like brush up against yours.
Oh, I don't like feet at all.
Or touch you, or if, like, all my family and friends know that I hate feet now, so some of them will literally just take their foot and sit it on my foot, and I'll just be like, get off. Like, I don't know why, I just don't like them. They're smelly, they look weird, they're always covered, so like when you take the sock off, the skin is more shiny and a little bit more like moist or plump. I just can't handle it.
Moist or plump.
But yeah, that's my
I get that one. I hate feet, so I feel you.
Yeah. Well,
I
now
got you.
I definitely want to get into some videos of some of our friends who sent in some videos. The first video we have is from Amy, who's one of the hosts here at AfterBuzz, and let's see what she has to say.
Just give me 1 minute to get it queued up, guys.
Okay, sure.
Keep talking about feet.
Oh my gosh, though.
Feet are gross.
I don't know about them.
I don't like them at all. I completely understand. I don't even think that's irrational. I think that's completely irrational.
Do you like hands?
Yeah.
Hands are fine with you?
It's not like I like hands. I'm not like I love hands. But yeah, I don't mind hands.
Speaking of
hands, are
hands,
cool.
we are ready to view.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
Speaking of hands.
I have an irrational fear of butterflies. I know it's weird. I get it. People love butterflies, but they're stinking creepy to me. They're like glorified moths. They do the same thing. They flap their wings and they're just really scary and I don't like them and whatever. I really don't like anything that crawls or flies, except for animals like a cat. Cats crawl. This is Spielberg. Hi. But yeah, I mean, butterflies. What do you think of butterflies? Scary. They're so scary. Okay. I don't like butterflies. My cat doesn't like me either. No. Mad world out there.
What is her cat doing?
Oh my gosh, her cat was like after her.
My favorite part was the cat. But I will tell you, I worked at a butterfly museum type thing, and I was also very scared of not scared, they just grossed me out.
Really? I have no problems with butterflies.
Have you seen what their bodies look like?
Yeah. I mean, what's wrong with them?
When there's like some big butterflies out there, and when they land on you, like you want to be like, wow, but you're like, oh, because I
have no
they're
problem.
Fluffy, furry, like moths. She's right.
Okay.
Ugh, I don't like them.
I don't know, I just think they're cute, but I love her cat. Her cat was so cute.
That was so funny.
Thank you, Amy. I don't really have any advice for you because I don't know how to answer that one. I mean,
I get it. I'll tell you, Amy, I get it.
okay, Amy.
Same.
We get it. But thank you, Amy, for sending that in. And our next video is from Brooke.
Hi, Okay, I'm Brooke Hudworth. My irrational fear is arachnophobia. I know it's super common, but I do not do spiders. I can't do them big, small. It doesn't matter. Ew. I can't handle it. I can't kill them myself. My heart just beats out of my chest and I have to scream and I have to run away. That's how I deal with things. Other people have to kill them for me because I cannot do it. I'm not brave enough.
That's so cute.
She is so cute. She's actually someone that I've known for a few years from back in Missouri. I think that one is like you can see the progression of her eyes watering and she gets more and more uncomfortable as time goes on.
I love it.
I get that one though. I get it.
I don't like spiders either, but I've also like once you just live alone, like you just start killing all the spiders because you're like, I can't with you. You're not gonna survive. Goodbye.
Spiders, I can kill. If I were to like be in my room and like a snake be in the corner or something like that, I'd have a problem with. Couldn't handle snakes, but.
I mean, absolutely. I just think there's a higher chance of you turning into a balloon than there is of a snake randomly being in your apartment.
No, that is so not true. If you lived in Missouri, you would know. Like
what?
Yeah, like sometimes we would be at school and all of a sudden they'd have to shut down a hallway because like a snake would somehow get in, or like because we live in places that have tall grass and like a big countryside. Like there's one time I was sitting and minding my own business and I look out the window. And there was this big of a black snake curled up watching me through the window. It was terrifying. Oh. They find ways in, guys. They find ways in. But thank you, Brooke. I know how you feel about that. And our next video is from Will, who happens to be from Revenge Body, Khloe Kardashian's Revenge Body. He was the one that was a contestant who lost the weight, and he also was a producer on Life of Kylie for Kylie Jenner. So let's see what he has to say.
Hey Dakota, it's Will from Revenge Body. I found out that you wanted to hear about weird, unusual, like phobias or anxieties. Look no further because I'm about to shock you with mine. So just a pre-story. I'm born and raised from Roswell, New Mexico, which is like Alien Nation if you don't know about it. Like apparently the first alien crash happened there. Keep that in mind. So my irrational fear is that aliens, and yes, this is real, have been like monitoring me and like listening to me and like they're just kind of like waiting to like take me, which I'm kind of open to a little bit, but especially when I watch like an alien documentary, I swear to God that they're like tuned in and they like know that I'm aware and I'm catching on to them. So when aliens come back to Earth, because they will, I'm probably going to be the first one to be taken.
I thought he was just going to say he's scared of aliens. That is amazing.
I know. What I love the most about his confessional is that he's open to it. He's like, which I'm kind of open to. Like, he's like, I'm into it. Like, I want to be taken.
I just love that he's so sure that they're monitoring him. That's just so funny. Will, you're killing me. I want more on this. I want him to make a whole documentary series.
Seriously, though.
I want Life of Will.
Life of Will.
Life of Will before getting abducted.
Yes. And Revenge Body just got picked up for a season 2, so it's going to be premiering December 10th.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that he's involved in some way because that'd be awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. We've had so much fun. Some other people who sent them in said that they're terrified of sloths. Butterflies. There's a lot of butterflies. Crickets. And then someone even said they have a phobia of paper napkins. Jessica Williams said that. Ketchup phobia. Christy Ann Lopez. Like,
I don't like ketchup, but
I really can't have it anywhere near me. When I see it or smell it, I
How
gag.
do you feel about ice? Am I the only one
Ice?
who like can't touch ice cubes? That's
I mean,
normal, right?
no. I'm fine.
Let's just pretend I didn't say anything. Okay, moving on.
But you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know in the comments below what your irrational fears are. It doesn't matter how irrational. I don't care. I love weird things. So just let us know and maybe we'll like answer them next time or something. But as always, Renee, thank you so much for joining me. Where can everyone find you on social media?
You guys can follow me at Renee Ariel on Instagram and on Twitter.
All right, and you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. And next week, one of my friends who is on the Broadway production of Mamma Mia, he did like the world tour, and he is going to be in to talk about his experience. Awesome. And it's going to be really cool. So make sure you tune in next Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until then, stay weird.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views